All the world's a stage.
All the world's a stage.
And all the men and women merely players.
They have their exits and their entrances.
And one man in his time plays many parts.
What Shakespeare is saying here is that life is like a play, and all the people of the world are supporting characters in the TV show of existence. They die and they're born. In this monologue, Shakespeare is seeing life as a drama acted out on a stage. He refers to each stage of life as an act in a dramatic theatre production.
This isn't real. What is real? How do you define real? If you're talking about what you can feel, what you can smell, what you can taste and see, then real is simply electrical signals interpreted by your brain.
This idea that a man's life being no more than a brief appearance on stage is something that I think fascinated Shakespeare. Another character of his creation, Macbeth, saw life in a similar way.
A poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing.
Of course, the monologue is not actually about theatre. The theatrical reference is just a way of introducing what Shakespeare really wanted to convey, which is an outline of a man's journey from birth to the inscription on his epitaph.
You can also imagine maybe John Wayne as Macbeth going, "Well, is this a dagger I see before me?"
All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts, his acts being 7 ages. At first the infant, mewling and puking in the nurse's arms, and then the whining schoolboy with his satchel and shining morning face creeping like snail unwillingly to school. And then the lover, sighing like furnace with a woeful ballad made to his mistress' eyebrow. Then a soldier, full of strange oaths, and bearded like the pard, jealous in honor, sudden and quick in quarrel, seeking the bubble reputation even in the cannon's mouth. And then the justice, in fair round belly with good capon lined, with eyes severe and beard of formal cut, full of wise saws and modern instances. And so he plays his part. The 6th age shifts into the lean and slippered pantaloon, with spectacles on nose and pouch on side. His youthful hose well saved, a world too wide for his shrunk shank. And his big, manly voice, turning again towards childish treble, pipes and whistles in his sound. Last scene of all that ends this strange, eventful history is second childishness and mere oblivion. Sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything.
This is one of the Bard's most popular and referenced speeches of all time, but it's rarely given the context it requires. Jacques, the speaker, is riddled with melancholy. He's commenting on the predictability of life, how our performance of predetermined roles ultimately robs us of any real meaning.
So what's the answer? That's what I keep asking myself. What's it all about?
You know what I mean?
It should be noted that Jacques doesn't have the astute wisdom of Shakespeare's fools. This speech reflects the truth about existence, but was really written to highlight how Jacques feels at that moment. Jacques is seen by most critics not so much as wise, but rather one trying to seem wise.
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
Shakespeare was an inventor of words. It's hard to know how many he created and how many he popularized through his plays. A word that came to mind when I was reading this speech came to fruition in 2013 in the Dictionary of Obscure Sorrows. It's called Sonder, and I'll leave you with that.
Sonder. You are the main character. The protagonist, the star at the center of your own unfolding story. You're surrounded by your supporting cast, friends and family hanging in your immediate orbit. Scattered a little further out, a network of acquaintances who drift in and out of contact over the years. But there in the background, faint and out of focus, are the extras. The random passers-by, each living a life as vivid and complex as your own. They carry on invisibly around you, bearing the accumulated weight of their own ambitions. Friends, routines, mistakes, worries, triumphs, and inherited craziness. When your life moves on to the next scene, there's flickers in place, wrapped in a cloud of backstory and inside jokes and characters strung together with countless other stories that you'll never be able to see, that you'll never know exists, in which you might appear only once, as an extra sipping coffee in the background, as a blur of traffic passing on the highway, as a lighted window at dusk.